Good morning. Today is Friday, July 3rd, 2020. Today, the Friday of the Parsha of Chukas. This Shabbos is the double portion, Chukas Balak, but today is the Friday of the Parsha of Chukas. Today is a fast day. It's not such a well-known fast, and it is not widely practiced, but it is a fast day. And the reason for that is that according to some sources, this is quite a controversial subject, but according to some sources, on this date, in the year 1242, King Louis IX, who was later known as Saint Louis, he was a king in France. He was a rabid anti-Semite. And on this date in 1242, he oversaw the burning of over 12,000 volumes of the Talmud in front of the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. Now keep in mind that 1242, this is before printing, and that means that each one of these volumes was handwritten. It was a devastating blow to European Jewry, to Torah learning. Now, I want to be clear that many historians dispute some or other of these details, but this is at least one approach to this subject. I do not personally observe this fast day, but it exists, and this is the source that is given for the reason for this day. Interestingly, today in St. Louis, Missouri, some residents want to change the name of that city in order to disassociate themselves from this despicable man for whom the city is named. And also, they would like to take down his statue. There's a statue of St. Louis in a very prominent place in the city, and they would like to take that down. Closer to home, I'm sure you read about thousands of people here in Montreal have signed a petition to change the name of the Lionel Groulx metro station to the Oscar Peterson metro station because, for a couple of different reasons, but one of them is because Lionel Groulx was an anti-Semite and a fascist. Now, I was misquoted by a reporter in a news article, and I want to set the record straight. So there was an article that appeared in Times of Israel, and a reporter called me last week and interviewed me about this subject. And this is the quote that made it into the article. But not everyone in the Jewish community supports the name change. Rabbi Michael Whitman of the ADATH congregation in Hampstead, Quebec, said he's not bothered because Groulx doesn't have the name recognition of heavy-hitting anti-Semites such as Hitler. Quote, "I don't know anything about him," Rabbi Whitman said about Lionel Groulx. "I'm personally not offended by this person." End quote. Okay, that's not what I said. So, first of all, I am deeply offended by this person, and I have no objection to changing the name, especially to change it to the Oscar Peterson metro station. Oscar Peterson was a wonderful musician and an even more wonderful human being, and I think that that would be a great outcome. What I said, though, is that I would not advocate for removing Groulx's name because it doesn't bother me to see that name on a metro station. It bothers me there's such a person. It bothers me that there is anti-Semitism, it does not bother me to see that name on a metro station. Now, I would be offended to see the Adolf Hitler metro station, or the George Wallace metro station, or the Pol Pot metro station, because these horrible people personify and are identified with the hatred that they espoused. But further, I think it's a superficial blow against anti-Semitism or racism or any other injustice to change the name of something or to remove a statue. I would reserve my energy to fight for changes in law, changes in attitude, and changes in behavior. Now, I did add to the reporter, which did not make it into the article, that every locale should have a fair and transparent process for changing names in order to give people a voice, which also includes the right of every locale to limit how changes in name will occur. So, if that name change happens, I will be happy. If it does not change, I will not be hurt. There is plenty more substantive work to be done to make our society more just. And that is my priority. I want to wish you all a great day, a very happy Shabbos, and I look forward to seeing you all soon in person.